Yay, Jill.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Jill.
Dave, it was nice to get to see you yesterday.
Yeah, that was fun.
And now
Jill,
you know our favorite sushi place.
Jill fed me an unlimited amount of sushi yesterday.
Fantastic. Where did you go?
To Joy's Sushi. It's right south of Park Meadows.
Oh.
And let me
It's
tell you,
fabulous.
it was quite a joy.
Yes, if you've never been to Joy's Sushi, I highly recommend it.
I haven't
So
been to Joy Sushi.
Is there a reason why you guys have stopped emailing links?
Don't tell me that.
No, I just got the email.
Oh, I didn't have it. Hold on, let me look and see.
I must be on some ban list or something. I don't know what's going on.
I got it at 1:50.
I did not get it.
Our attendees have dropped in the last few weeks, mostly because people are telling us that they're not getting the email, but then everybody tells me they got the email.
Okay, so I will tell you that I've just refreshed and I did get, but I went on Facebook and got it there, which I didn't think about, but it may be one of the reasons why your attendees are dropping.
Yeah, I know. I want to get to the bottom of it.
Also, it's springtime. People do less things because they think that you don't have to work your business as hard in the spring and the summer.
Yes, you've discovered
And they
that as
also
well?
have that excuse in the summer and in the winter and at the beginning of the year.
Well, you know, the kids are going back to school. Well, you know, the kids are out of school now. Well, you know,
Right.
it's tax time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heard it all.
That's right.
What's up, Adam?
What's up? How you guys doing?
How are
Nice
you?
to see the crew again.
I'm good.
Good.
I feel like I haven't seen everybody for a month.
It's because you've been gone.
Been in Hawaii. I'm glad that you actually made it to Hawaii, by the way.
And back.
And back. Yes. Very glad that you came back also.
He was late coming back, so he had to cut his sushi eating short because they close at a certain time of day.
Yeah, so check this out. So I literally got on the plane at 10 p.m., traveled all night until 8 a.m., got off the plane and went to see Jill and had lunch, and then went home and went to bed.
That makes sense.
Lunch or breakfast, whatever you call
Yeah.
it. Totally jet lagged. And then this morning I woke up at 2 a.m. and here I am.
Perfect.
It's good to see you, Adam.
Good to see you, brother. I loved those videos, man. Those are some deep thoughts while you were out there.
Yeah, when I actually have bandwidth to think.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got some good stuff when you let that brain work.
Yeah, I try. Yeah, it was fun visiting that guy. He's got an amazing thing going out there.
So is that your first time to go and see him?
On his farm, yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's funny because we've been working with him for 7 years, so he sends us pictures of his farm and his family and all this stuff. So even his tractor, right when we drove up, I saw his tractor. I go, I know that tractor.
That's cool.
That is awesome.
Great.
But you know, the coolest thing was they've actually trained the wild birds on their farm.
How so?
And the wild birds they can call them over and they'll come sit on their arm and then they can feed them out of their hand. And they named the wild birds. But here's the coolest part. I drove back the next day and I saw a bird flying. I go, oh, that's Duke and Daisy. I know them. And then
That's so cool.
I just recognized a wild bird.
That's great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
As if it were a personal friend.
Yeah.
Holly, ask your question again.
Hey, what kind of birds were they?
They told me, but I don't remember. But it's in the
Because they
video.
have names now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're Duke and Daisy.
No.
They've been together now for 2 years. They don't have any kids yet.
The Duke and Daisy or the...
Duke and Daisy. Come on, stick with the program here.
I am.
There aren't that many characters in this story so far. Why are we losing
Well, you
people?
have to get animals, so I hope we're only going to continue to talk about that.
Hey, Holly, how are you? That good, huh?
I'm Adam. I was
Hey, I just left Travis at Brick on York getting the meal gift certificates that you connected me for, so thank you.
You're very welcome.
Ooh, that place is awesome. They have really good brunch.
So they have a calzone called the White Buffalo. It has truffle oil in it and stuff. It's the bomb diggity.
Trav is pretty awesome with his menu.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Nate, his bar guy, is pretty cool too.
Oh, it's a bar guy now.
Well, Nate, yeah.
Oh.
There were gals too, but I didn't see any.
We should do a virtual meeting there.
Yes.
Have some wine, eat some brick pizza.
Yes.
Sounds awesome.
I'm really glad that worked out for you, Adam.
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
How's Rex doing, Jill?
Who? No,
That mean old guy that had lunch with us yesterday.
I'm trying to convince him to go to our place in the mountains so I can have a couple days off. He's been home for a week. Enough is enough.
Yeah, exactly.
He can go. I think he's okay. We're just slammed, so I am not complaining. It's nice to be slammed.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, one of my friends' live-ins has just opened a virtual assistant business in Charlotte. Do you want me to connect you to him?
Absolutely. Thank you.
I will make the connection.
Appreciate that. We're going to give Stephanie one more minute to get connected. She's been having strange issues where her first connection fails and the second one works.
And sometimes it's the third one.
It's that Canadian Wi-Fi, I tell you. Their internet just isn't completely compatible with ours. She has to wait for it to translate from Canadian to English.
What she really needs is a Heisenberg converter. Okay, how many people believe me?
Oh, that's funny.
I was thinking the Hollywell converter. I was thinking the guy from the closet in Weird Science.
You guys are on your own.
Real
lane. You guys
genius.
are on your own in this conversation.
Yeah.
To Dave and Adam.
You know what? You make me feel old when you say shit like that.
I'm sure I can find other stuff to make you feel old too.
With friends like that.
Right?
I don't know what old is.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
I did get the email about today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Went out at 1:50.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I didn't get it at 150. It was like stuck in the Canadian pipeline. It just didn't come through for a long time.
If
Yeah, going all the way
only,
to Canada.
if only we knew a good computer guy that could help with something like that.
Oh yeah. Where were you, Tim?
Yeah, I was late. Sorry. You know, I didn't get an email, by the way. I had to hop on the Facebook.
I said the same thing. Now refresh and you'll see it there. And they'll tell you it was sent at 150 and they're full of shit.
They're full of shit.
Yeah. Please check on that, Tim. Did you not get an email?
I really didn't. I have it up right now. I really don't have it.
This is getting really frustrating for me.
Hey, did you know that that Integrity Technologies actually provides an email hosting service?
I did, but is it a reliable service? That's the question.
Well, you would have gotten the email.
That's the important thing.
And where is Shantel today?
She's on her way. She's busy selling on the phone. I keep telling her to get off the phone. She's like, I'm busy.
It's a good problem to have.
So that meeting that I just had, Dave,
I'm doing stuff.
absolutely crushed it.
Yeah, good job.
Yep. Didn't even really have to sell. They sold themselves. So
I love it.
wow, that's awesome. That's exactly what we need. Like, hey, well, that's convenient. We're the only company that provides that.
Adam's getting chased by
Adam.
the
I was
police.
just gonna say, I'm like, Adam, are you on the run?
Adam, slow down.
Adam's on the lane.
No! They'll never catch me!
It's actually awesome because it looks like you're going super fast.
They just won't get me alive!
Oh, my
Oh
goodness.
my.
Here, we'll just hold it up.
With that, Katie, would you like to go ahead and start?
Yes. I think that's a great introduction. Well, welcome everybody to AllProWebTools virtual networking. We're super happy you've all taken some time out of your day to do some great connecting from the comfort of our offices or while we're on the lam from the cops.
There you go.
And thank you, Adam. So we want to get started today by taking some time to get to know one another. Make sure that you do use the chat feature so you can introduce yourself there to either talk to each other, talk to everyone, share who you are, ways that we can connect with you so we can keep the connections happening after the meeting. So let's go ahead and start with introductions. And Holly, let's start with you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Hollie Claire with the Social Media Advisor. I help people eliminate spaghetti marketing in their branding by using strategy in social media. So we do a lot of storytelling, profile building, training, as well as monthly content management. A really good introduction for us at this time are businesses that provide services to others. So they're going into homes or other businesses, maybe carpet cleaners, hairstylists, coaches, trainers, communication strategists, all great fits for us. Not ideal fit are companies that have more than 50 employees. Generally, they're going to have their own marketing team. So a couple things to listen for would be I have Facebook and I don't know what to do with it, or I've never closed business from using social media. I'm Holly with the Social Media Advisor.
Yay! Love me some Holly Clear. All right, Mr. Adam.
From an undisclosed location on the run. We do payroll, staffing, and HR. And, one of the things we hear a lot this time of year is paralysis. When people hire somebody, it doesn't always work out. And whether it's corrective action or whether it's taking the step of having to terminate that employee, we know a lot of people drag it on much longer than they need to because they fear being sued. They fear wrongful termination and these types of things, when the reality is when you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed, the employer has every right to decide who is and isn't a good fit for their organization. So if you know somebody right now who looks like they are aging horribly because the monkey on their back is weighing them down and they don't get to enjoy running a business and having a life, we can help take that weight off their back and get Harris out of their hair.
Love it. Maybe it's Harris that did something that you're on the lam for.
That it could be. I take a lot of falls for that monkey.
Mm-hmm. Sure you do. He's a rascally little dude. So, all right. Stephanie.
Hi guys, my name is Stephanie OBrien, and I am a fiction author, comic artist, video editor, marketing coach, and copywriter. I've published 4 books through Amazon's Kindle, and I help business owners to attract more clients by helping them to figure out what marketing materials they need and what to say in those materials. Then, if they don't want to write the materials themselves, I do the writing for them so they can focus on what they do best and enjoy. If you want to know more about my marketing and copywriting, my website is www.coachclientconnection.com. If you want to know more about my books, it's www.stephanieobrienbooks.com.
Excellent. Thanks, Stephanie. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Yeah. All right, Miss Shantel.
Hi, I'm Shantel. I'm the nerd translator over here at AllProWebTools.
I love that.
So I try to, work with them and make them understandable. But so AllProWebTools, we have an all-in-one solution for small business owners. And I was a little bit late because I was helping a guy that installs cable that got chased up a ladder by a bear. But he decided he wanted to have his whole sales team using AllProWebTools so that they can be out and about and selling and still be able to communicate with each other and know what's going on with their clients. So that's what I do.
Fantastic. All right. And Dave was saying that you were just, so busy on the phone selling AllProWebTools that you had to be a few minutes late.
It's how it works. He decided to sing to me at the end, which was fun. So,
Oh, okay.
You never know.
Life of a salesperson, right?
Exactly.
We encounter some interesting things, that's for sure. Awesome. All right, Tim.
All right. Oh, I'm not even muted. I'm Tim Washburn. I own Integrity Technologies, the business IT company. We obviously we do business IT. So what that means is not mostly just your break and fix type of model, but we try to monitor your network, try to keep you up and running so you don't have downtime, so you can do what you do best while we do what we do best.
Fantastic. So important, because
So-
what you do is not most people's best.
You've heard me talk about the difference in marketing between vitamins and aspirin.
Yes.
Tim's both.
Provides both
Unfortunately,
remedies.
I do have to be the aspirin sometimes.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Miss Jill.
Hi, I'm Jill Wisehart, and I do two things. One, I'm the managing partner for BizBud, which is a peer-to-peer networking community where you can go in and have someone that you can have be accountable to on a daily or weekly basis. And if you feel if you'd like to vote for BizBud to be at Startup Week in Denver, I put the link in our Facebook page so that you guys can all vote, because we really want to make my husband do that because I'm out of town that week. So the goal is everybody vote, so my husband has to go and do my job for me.
Love it. And so are you speaking there, Jill? Do you have a topic?
No, my husband will be speaking if we get enough votes. Yep.
Okay. And what's the topic?
The topic is why you need an accountability partner as a small business owner.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Which
yes.
is all about BizBud. And then the other thing I do is my husband and I do lead generations, and the product is called 3% Leads. And we're looking for companies that are over $1 million who have a sales funnel that converts, so that we can help them use their digital media money in a smarter way. So
Fantastic.
those are the two things I do.
Love it. Well, thank you very much. And I am Katie Meyers. I am the CEO of CR Conversations. And I am out on kind of the anti-failure crusade. I keep entrepreneurs from experiencing the entrepreneurial F word, failure, in their sales conversations. So I help them to empower themselves to comfortably communicate exactly who they are, how they serve, and who they are serving, so that they have the processes that are repeatable and are proven to help them get the sales that they need. Dave, back to you.
Oh, so many buttons to push over here. Okay, back to me.
Back to you, Dave.
To do my 30 seconds? Because
Yes.
I get called
Yep.
on.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Did you put your name in the chat box?
I sure did.
Where?
I saved you for last.
I was right after Shantel, but
Yeah.
apparently I
Okay.
was saved for last. Okay, so I am Dave Kramer from AllProWebTools. I love small business and small business owners, and I love hearing stories of success. This is, I think, my 8th business, AllProWebTools, and we created it to help small business owners to be more successful by having everything all in one place, so they can manage and pull reports on their business and know what's going on. So Dave Kramer from AllProWebTools.
Yay, Dave. We love AllProWebTools for so many reasons.
Thank you.
So, yes. Well, now we are, do you want me to introduce myself, or?
I can introduce the amazing Katie. Yes.
I can introduce myself too, if you want.
You probably
Like,
do better.
I'm amazing.
Let me tell you about Katie Meyers, everyone. Let me just tell you.
Well, with that, we'll let Katie.
I think I'm blushing.
Yeah, I have appreciated knowing Katie for several years now, and I am just blown away by her knowledge of business interactions. That's the way I look at it, how to interact with clients, and how to manage your business in an intelligent way, thinking things through, putting plans together. And we are going to give her 10 minutes to espouse some of her knowledge.
It's a tall order.
1, 2, 3, go.
Bang and go. Okay. So hi again, everybody. I'm really excited to do this because helping entrepreneurs to better communicate, to ultimately get to the point where revenue is really coming in for them is what my passion is. And the reason I talk about it in a way of being a better communicator instead of being a better salesperson is that most of us did not get into business because we are crazy good at selling things, right? So we got into business to do what we love and to serve the people that need that. But in order to do that, we also have to be the salespeople. So quick little background about why communication is so important is several times throughout my life, I have met failure head on when it comes to relationships. And through my learning with that, finally getting to a point where I was able to reflect and to recognize that it wasn't just all the other people, I had something to do with failed relationships as well, is it came down to the founding principles of what I do at CR Conversations and what I'm here to share with you, which is people want two things more than anything in this world, and it's to be heard and to know that they matter. And so if we start all of our conversations in our business and in our personal lives with making that be kind of, I call it an up level of the golden rule, treat others how they want to be treated. If we go into every conversation, every text, every social media post, every email, every phone call with making sure the people that are receiving that are going to feel like they are heard and that they matter, everything will change, including your sales. Because you're going to be laying a foundation for people that are impactful and making them truly feel like you're building a relationship with them from the get-go. So what I want to share with you are some of my top communication tips for being able to connect immediately, which will then keep you from failing in your sales conversations. So the first thing that I encourage you to do, and I think this is a very powerful tip, especially when you're doing like a virtual setting like this, where you may not necessarily get to have one-on-one conversation with each person during that time, I want you to start asking people how they best communicate. That is probably the number one tip that I recommend to people. Because what it does is not only allows you to have an inkling as to how they're going to connect with you, but it lays the foundation of making them feel like they're heard and that they matter. So many times we have tons and tons and tons of assumptions in our business, and they don't just make an ass out of you and me, but they can kill your business and lead you to fail. Because when we start making assumptions about how the other person communicates, and then when you get into follow-up and actually in your sales process, if you make assumptions as to what's going to happen, you're doing a disservice to that person because you don't know what they're thinking and feeling. So starting out right out of the gate by asking them how they best communicate will make them feel like you're actually listening to them, but then it will also give you a leg up to connect with them and communicate with them in the future in a way that they're going to respond to. So that's the first thing I want to share with you. The second thing is when you kind of get into the rhythm of follow-up, I want to share two statistics with you. The first statistic is really my tip, and it takes 5. It takes 5. It takes 80% of the time, people will not communicate back with you or engage with you until after the 5th time that you communicate with them. 80%. 80% of people aren't going to say anything, do anything, take action until the 5th time that you communicate. Now, there's a lot of assumptions that we can make around that statistic, right? That, if we assume that they're holding off on us for some reason, or they're trying to see how far we can go. What's actually happening is that you are making the assumption that you're the only thing in their world, right? That you think that you should hear from them sooner. But put yourself in your prospect's shoes, right? You have a million things to do. You have a bunch of stuff in your personal life. You have stuff in your professional life. You're not going to hear back from them immediately. So it's your responsibility to stay in front of them. Now, that statistic is not a Katie statistic or a CR Conversation statistic. It is from the U.S. Department of Labor and Statistics statistic. So it doesn't matter what you sell, how you sell it, who you're selling it to. People just don't have the time to respond back to you right away. So you have to continue to talk to them. The other statistic is 93% of people give up after the second time of trying to connect, because those little assumptions start happening again. We start thinking, they're not interested in me, they found somebody else, or, maybe it was how I said or what I said, or, oh my gosh, am I being too salesy now? None of that stuff, well, some of that stuff might actually be happening, but that's another conversation. But really what's happening is they don't have time for that, right? You have to be the one to stay in front of them, connecting with them, communicating to them, so that they have an opportunity to get back to you when it is convenient for them. There is so much magic that happens between the 5th, and in my strategy, I go to 8 touches. Between the 5th and 8th touch, the magic happens. That's when people say, oh my gosh, thank you for continuing to connect with me. I'm finally at a spot to do X, or to engage with you, or, they'll apologize to you. Or they will tell you, you know what, I'm not interested. The worst thing an entrepreneur or a salesperson can hear is not no. It's maybe. Okay? Because a maybe is, okay, so is it like, then you have the questions of when will it become a yes? Or is it actually a no, but you just don't want to tell me no, right? A no is just as important as a yes, because you then have a confident, clear, concrete way of how you're supposed to be communicating with those people from here on out. So the other thing I want to share with you is what I call the 90-10 rule. And I'm sure Hollie's gonna have a big smile on her face when I talk about this. Hollie's actually in my office. She's just in the other office, and I heard her laugh. So if you're a Hollie Clear fan and you've heard her talk about this, she says 80-20, so we can settle in the middle and say 85-15 for purposes of this, because she's on this call. But the intention is still the same. So when you are communicating, and this is more so in the offline world of what I teach to, 90% of what you say, so in your email, in your phone call, in your text, in your whatever, needs to be educational, informative, and resourceful. And 10% of that needs to be your promotion or your next step or your call to action, whatever you want to call that. So if you think about it in an email, if you had 10 sentences in an email, 9 of them are not about you. They're about the other person. They're about how you met and what you appreciate about them. And then it's about sharing a resource or something informative, something that is valuable to them. And then one sentence, the last sentence, is guiding them into the next step of working with you. So this might seem a little bit backwards. It might seem like it's something that feels a little uncomfortable or completely different than what you were originally taught. But I promise you, if you start to think about the other person, sales is not about you. Your only responsibility in that relationship is to deliver education for them to make an educated decision. That's your only responsibility in that relationship. Okay? It's not about convincing. It's not about getting them to do something. It's providing it, communicating it effectively, and being there to help them with the resolution, no matter which way they go. So I'm going to wrap up. I have about, right at time when Dave told me I had 10 minutes. So what I want to share with you is the best way to start taking action on this. I'm going to share it in our events section, but you just connect with me on Facebook. I have a Talk It Out Tuesday show that I do every Tuesday, and then I have a monthly training at the end of each month where you can actually hop onto Zoom, and I train for a full hour on one of my 12 content topics. So thanks so much for letting me do this. This is really fun, and I love being able to do it just from the comfort of my office. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for the great presentation. Does anybody have any questions for Katie?
I do.
All right, go ahead, Jill.
So my question is, what do you do when you have to do cold calls with people? How do you break the ice, get connected in? Do you leave messages? What are your recommendations for cold calling?
Okay, very good question. So the first piece of information I can give you is just to be relatable and be real. So your very first call on a cold call should not be about the sale. It should be about connecting with them and trying to get them to a formal conversation and getting to know them. A good example is a client of mine is a horse photographer. And she was trying to get into all of the horse ranches in Colorado. And her original tactic was calling them and asking them if they have a horse photographer and if she could come by. And she was getting hung up on, and people weren't interested because they felt sold to. So we changed that tactic, and the initial cold call was just collecting information. So she was calling and saying, I'm kind of doing some market research. Do you put on a customer appreciation event? If you do, have you ever thought about having a horse photographer? Have you thought about giving that as a picture for your clients as client appreciation? And then she would just take that information. She wouldn't tell them that, she is that photographer or what she's looking for, anything like that. But then she had a qualified list that her next touch, she actually walked into those places and delivered information to them to start the relationship. And it was a thank you card that said, thank you for helping me collect information to see if this is something that could be useful. So I like to advise to start cold calls in more of a information gathering way instead of directly talking to them about the sale.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Anybody else? All right.
All right, I think we got it. Thank you so much, Katie. Great
Yeah, you bet.
information. All right, so the next phase is going to be our educational piece, our mastermind. And so I have just returned from visiting my client in Kauai, and I don't know, I was introduced to something interesting. He's been in business for over 30 years. He's doing $1 million a year in revenue now. When he started, he was doing none, zero. And it was amazing to hear his stories of all of the mistakes that he made as he was going along in this process. You look at him now and you think, wow, you've just been successful. You're one of those lucky people. Your parents must have given you much of money so you could start this business. You must have had some crazy research or some lucky thing happen. And no, when you hear his stories. So what I would like to do is ask everybody to contribute to this discussion by mentioning one mistake that you made in your business, and to keep it positive, how you pivoted from that mistake and improved your business. So starting with my buddy in Kauai, he said that he used to spend $8,000 a month on a kiosk in a mall. And he would hire somebody to sit there and promote his products. And what was interesting was that he said that doing that worked on a small scale. That worked when he was at farmers markets, but for some reason it did not work when he was in the mall. So he was trying to take something that he had seen work and just amplify it. That's what we should all be doing, right? But sometimes that doesn't work. So he got rid of that. He said it was the smartest decision he ever made. So who would like to go next? Who would like to contribute their mistake? Go ahead, Stephanie.
Okay, I jumped ahead too far in my business when I first started out and did a couple mistakes. One was investing in Infusionsoft when I was nowhere near ready for it, and the other was incorporating when I was nowhere near ready for it. And basically, I followed people's advice without checking to see if it was right for me. And as a result, I spent easily well into the 4 figures in Infusionsoft fees and accounting fees. Holy crap, I had no idea accounting and tax preparation for corporations was so expensive. But because I didn't do my research first, I ended up losing well into the probably mid 4 figures because I didn't check to see if it was right for me or if I needed stuff before I invested in it.
Very good point. I see a lesson in that. We should do some research before we jump, right?
And find out what the accountant fees will be for stuff before you incorporate.
Awesome. Thank you for contributing that, Stephanie. Appreciate it. Adam, what do you got?
Well, mine comes a lot more from the sales background. You know, I'm a guy who likes to talk. In case you haven't met me yet in person.
No, not Adam.
And right, but you see, the way I do it seems to have come from some of these lessons. Because I'll talk and I'll have these, you know, light, enjoyable conversations. But early on in my sales career, I had a couple meetings where, in the sales interaction, that talkative nature kind of went into the meeting, and I was running the meeting where I was controlling the conversation in a very overt, in your face kind of way. And to the point where I had a CPA who I was courting tell the referral source that they didn't like me because I talked too much. And that referral source was kind of soured on me too. So I learned very hard lesson that, you know, having the gift of gab has its time and place. And that time and place is definitely not anywhere after tell me what's going on with your business.
That is interesting. You know, they you only have one chance to make an impression, and we all know Adam. We know he's a great guy, but if you make one mistake one time, sometimes that's all people remember.
Yep.
To have your game face on all the time.
And my mouth can be a big mistake sometimes. Just, we all can be our worst enemy.
All right. Who else wants to go? Shantel.
So when I first went into business, I was 19, and somebody told me I should do networking. So I went to a networking group, and I thought I was supposed to sell to all of those people in that room, and that's what I was supposed to do. That's what we were all here for. And so I tried to do that and was just horribly mistaken. That's not what you're there for. You're there to talk to them, learn what they do, tell them a little bit more about what you do, and make those relationships so that you're not in the room with those 15 people, you're in the room with everybody that they know, if you handle it right. And I did not handle it right, and I couldn't figure out why networking was just so useless and why all these people kept going and eating lunch together. It was weird. So yeah.
I think we've all met those new networking people.
Oh, totally. And you're just like, oh,
You're so
come
cute.
here. Let me help you.
Pat them on the head.
Now I try to help them, yeah. Some of them are helpable. Some of them just try to stand too close to you and sell you jewelry or something. Hi, Adam.
You don't want to buy from me?
Nicely done.
You just found a way to make virtual networking creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Good job, Adam. This was supposed to be a way to avoid the uncomfortable networking with people. You found a way to make it creepy.
We should all do that next time a guest joins virtual networking.
That's like, hi. Hi. How are you? Welcome. Hey guys, welcome.
Started a trend, Adam.
Yeah, that should be your screenshot, Dave. It'd be very exciting for people to come and visit us. Oh,
Everybody lean in.
It'd be great. I think Holly had something to share.
Yeah. Close and personal virtual.
Yes.
Well, I definitely think that would be an amazing screenshot that we before we go.
I say we do it. Let's do it.
Let's do it right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
That's spectacular.
Close to personal, virtual networking. Oh, my cheeks hurt. Cheeks hurt. Oh my God. Thank you, Adam. That was good.
Adam.
Adam, what was it you were saying about being distracting to an event situation?
Yes.
And so
Well
people
played.
can't get work done?
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so mine was along the lines of networking, and it was networking to and taking the time. So we want to go and meet all these people and sit down with them. So it takes like 30 minutes to get there. We spend all this money on food and coffee. It takes us 30 minutes to get to the next thing. So I found for a little while that I was actually a professional networker. I was building all these relationships with people and going to all these meetings and having all this important stuff and spending all this money. And at the end of the day, I wasn't doing any work. So that was a lesson that I had learned was, you can network too much and be really strategic with your time.
Yes. Such a powerful thing, because I think so many of us have been there. And because I know I was there too, because you're like, well, I got to try and find all of these places. And then you're like, well, if this one meets every single week, I need to go every week. But then this one does too. And yeah, you just need to find what works for you and own that. And I believe you have to go all in also. If you choose something, you have to do it all the way and find, just really integrate yourself. It isn't just I'll go whenever, every once in a while. But you need to kind of put your stake in the ground and be a part of that organization.
Because if you do, you become known as that person who is kind of there once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
What you want. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Tim, and then Jill. Yeah.
Yeah, I know early on, probably the first couple of years that we were in business, I had I would always make the mistake of, someone would say, hey, do you offer this? Well, no, we don't really, but,
Yes.
we can make it happen. That's not what we specialize in, but, I'm hungry. I need the work. I need the money. I need. So, yeah, we'll make an exception. Yeah, we'll do it. It's not really what we do, but we can do it. We can do it. That's
Did we all do that?
one
I
more.
did that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's pretty common.
So, like with a cell phone and tablet repair, the number of clients that we send to other people because we just don't do it, and I will never, ever do it. We're probably missing out on somewhere around $5,000 of net profit every single month. But it's not what we do, it's not what we specialize in, and it's not something that I want to specialize in.
Good for you. And it's a hard lesson to learn, because it's especially starting out, where do you find the balance, right? Of I need the revenue. And so if I say no, it's scarcity, and it's also fear of missing out, right? Mm-hmm. So you're like, I have to take this on, but inevitably, I'm sure as it did for you, Tim, as soon as you say, kind of put your hard nose up, right? Like, this is the only thing we're going to do. Mm-hmm. Didn't you find abundance come to you that way, of the right people?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think another piece that was my problem was I didn't want to be the guy that said no to somebody, especially if I was brand new to a networking event. I didn't know anybody there. Yeah. And they kind of had a sense for what I did. So they asked for something that was kind of skewed. I didn't want to say no, because now I can't help anybody, right? Yep. But what helped was once I started to get to know people that I could create good referrals with, then that person appreciated that I said I can't do it, but here's somebody who can. And then, of course, that person appreciated that I was referring business.
Yep, absolutely. Jill, what's yours?
To be patient. And I learned that, I was reminded of that when I watched one of Dave's videos on Facebook, and he was like, I didn't make money in AllProWebTools for the first 6 years. And I'm scaling up a new business, BizBud, and we only have a couple hundred members. And I'm like, this is not where the business plan was supposed to be at this point in the business. And you have to be patient. It doesn't just, there's no magic beans. It doesn't just happen.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
Well, I didn't give you mine yet. Mine is very similar to what Tim was talking about. In the beginning, we were trying to take care of everybody ourselves, and that meant we weren't able to take care of anybody. So it took a while to learn that lesson, but now what we did was implemented a certified experts program. So we've collaborated with external sources that are specialists in those areas, and we actually gave away $100,000 in business last year. And yes, Tim, that does hurt. But it hurts worse when you're getting, people who want refunds, and, you're not able to service people correctly. So it's just better to stay in your genius zone.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes. I will quickly share mine. Mine was around owning who I am as a business, and realizing that that is the same thing as owning who I am as a woman. And it started with my original company. It was called Pure Communication. Remember that, Adam? Mm-hmm. Yep. And some of you others in here. And my brand colors were orange and blue, like old school Broncos orange and blue. I hate the color orange. And unless it's on a Broncos jersey, don't get me wrong. Hate the color orange. And the name everybody thought I was either a telemarketer or sold telecom. And it wasn't until I met a brand strategist that asked me, what's your favorite color? It's purple. My favorite color is purple. And she said, what's your favorite color? I'm like, well, that's not important because it's about what other people think, right? And she's like, absolutely not. So now everything around me is purple. And my company name is CR Conversations. And it technically stands for Customer Relationship Conversations. And as soon as I felt empowered and connected, everything in my business changed. It's same as you were saying, Tim, when you own what you want to do, the right people come to you. When you own who you are, the right people come to you. And there was no longer confusion, and people just started to get it. So.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a great question. Good job, Dave.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So,
thanks for making us laugh, Adam.
I try to be useful.
He's always good for that. He is always good for that. So let's just take the last few minutes to talk about any announcements that anybody has. If you have any events or announcements or other groups, Adam, go ahead.
It's more of a thank you. I wanted to say a couple thank yous both to Stephanie and to Jade. After my presentation last week, I was able to have some conversations with both of them where I was able to learn a lot of good information about where they're going in their business, and they were really open and sharing with me some of those things. So I just wanted to publicly thank them both for the trust and the opportunity to hear what's going on and to possibly give them some advice that hopefully will be of use to them.
Awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you, Adam.
Absolutely.
Hey, Adam, did the cops give up?
They did. I'm parked on a side street. That's why you don't see me moving. I ditched them and parked the car, laid the seat back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very nice.
Okay. Anybody else have anything you want to share? Hall. Yep.
So I just want to thank you guys all for being so awesome over the last month and a half. I've been able to watch your stuff online, and even though I wasn't able to participate, you guys still showed up and you still came with your A game, and the format in here has just been amazing. So thank you. I continue to learn new things about you every single week. So thank you for coming and for doing that. And even though I wasn't able to attend, it was very, very helpful. So
We're just glad you're on the men's, Holly.
Yeah. Thanks for the comments too, Holly. It was nice to see that you were watching those videos and that more people were getting benefit out of what we're doing here. And you know, it's interesting, if you look at our YouTube videos, they're getting about an average of 30 to 35 views. I don't know who those people are,
Cool.
but that's kind of cool, right?
Super cool. Very cool. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I will just quickly reiterate, the actual event that I have is on May 30th. It's at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And that is an hour Zoom training where I'll be talking about the topic this month is how to build a customer retention plan. It's $25 to join, and I'll put the information in the chat.
All right. Well, that wraps it up. That's 45 minutes. We did it. 45 minutes virtual networking. It doesn't take an hour.
Which is amazing when you consider how much Adam talks.
Right? How much he makes us laugh.
Yeah.
And how he's the butt of our jokes.
I don't understand.
Hey,
Oh my
Dave,
gosh.
you know the last 15 minutes of the hour networking, that's supposed to be selling your own product, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, Tim, we're all going to leave and we'll let you do that, okay?
Yep.
Well, I gotta run, so bye, guys.
Bye.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Have a good day, everyone. Thanks for coming on.
You
See
too.
ya.
Thanks for the great information.
See ya. You bet. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Katie.
Thank you.
That was fun.
One last comment on my way out, Dave. I really expected you to be Tanner.
Yeah, well.
Are you just burnt?
I do have my slight sunburn. I was pretty liberal with the sunblock, but you never get away from it. You always
No, you're like me. It's lobster or pasty.
Yeah, you're a white boy there.
Yeah.
I went to the Rockies game on Tuesday that had gotten rained out, And so my wife and I took the half day and went, and it was cloudy all day, and I still have a sunburn on part of my legs.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it kind of sucked the last 2 days. I couldn't drive with the top down because I was too burned. Any little bit of sun hurt so bad.
Like, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah.
You're having fun with that convertible, though, huh?
Oh, I always do. I always do.
I was laughing so hard when I saw that in the video. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how Dave wants to roll.
That's right.
Oh, if you go on vacation, you got to have a drop top. You just have to.
Heck yeah. Well, you guys take care. I got to run, but
Yeah, you too. Bye.
see you soon.
Yeah, run, Adam, run.
Run.
See ya, Adam.
Bye, guys.